Hello, strangers. Today, misfortunes have happened. First thing first, no electricity since this morning. But then there was a flat tire here. As you can see, I have identified something in there, possibly a small nail. So yeah. If you get a flat tire, the first thing you do is kind of inspect all around, and if you do find something obvious, then you have to take it off. If I didn't find this, I would have tried to put some pressure in it and see if it holds, but no point in it. Would be a waste of time. So I've gathered a bunch of tools and things. I'll have to pull it off. And yeah, I have tire patches, but I also have some extra tubes in there. Luckily this is not a tubeless bike. I will have to make another one of these. It broke off. I make them with just steel wire. I have to hammer it to make it flat so it fits. Never bought one of them. Never seemed to be an issue. So let's see now. Might need this. Which size might it be? I always forget. I don't have the size. I do have the adjustable though. I do think I have bought one. Is it in here? Yeah, I shouldn't waste time going around like this, because battery life, I will use this. So I cannot charge you. At some point I might have to switch to using the phone. Actually, good thing is I did have to do this recently, so it is fresh in my memory what needs to be done. Bit tight. Some rust has built up on the threads. Now this thing here would need some fixing as well. The original bolt here snapped, and in removing it, the threads got a bit damaged. That is off. Also, not the best mod, not the best work I should say, but shortening this comes in handy because it used to cover this. Now which meant you couldn't hammer it like that. This doesn't fit. I need something thinner. Do I not have a screwdriver nearby? Apparently not. I brought everything else but that. Let me hit on that with a piece of wood. Don't want to mushroom the end of it, although it is tapered, so there is some space for a bigger hammer would help. This broke. But the bigger hammer is inside. Can I just grab it by the end and pull it out? Let's see. Something did fall off. May not have to fix it right away, because it is seized in place. Let's not lose them. A spacer and a washer. Should be another spacer here. At one point I would like to make some new one of these. It would, the design I have in mind would require a lathe to make it nice. This is just some bent metal. Now I do need to undo this one. I tried without it last time. It doesn't quite work. Which size will it be? Oh, so close. I think it's a 14. Don't lose it. At least this time I have good weather to work on it. Last time I was kinda in a hurry, and it was also freezing cold, so I couldn't work outside. I struggled removing this in the barn where it was a little warmer. Then I brought the whole wheel inside. It's not lose them. I think I might put them back on the thread. I'm using my foot underneath, can push it up. There it goes. Yeah, I'll just put them back on the thread. This way they don't get lost. A wire wheel would be nice, although the rust does help a little bit with keeping the nut from coming off by itself. Of course, as you spin this, it applies the brakes, so it was stuck. You just have to spin it back. Now let us take off. Actually, can I just leave it there? Yes, I can. So I will leave that there. And that's about it. Much smoother than last time. Now, let's see. What I have here is some soapy water. More soap than water, ideally. I struggled a bunch last time before I remembered to use lubrication. Now this hopefully will be enough. If not, I do have some used motor oil, but with that you have to be more careful about cleaning it afterwards. Let's see. Just go in, I guess. Take it off the bead first. Let me put a bit of this around. Should be plenty, maybe. Don't worry about the mess. Will it wanna come off? How much will I have to fight with it? That is the question. Get in there. I think I got it. This is tight. Very tight indeed. Let's get them closer a bit. There we have it. Seems to be coming out easily at this point. Ideally it wouldn't hurt cleaning the wheel beforehand. The whole bike could use a wash. One of these days I will get myself a pressure washer. Last time I have omitted putting back the nuts that hold the valve stem in there because they were seized, and I had to grab this with vice grips, and it was quite a struggle getting them off. And also because of how they sit, there's some bumps here where the spokes come out, which kind of locks, keeps you from putting a wrench on those nuts. Will it come off now? Seems like there might still be a bit of pressure in the tube. Let's push on the stem a little bit. Nope. It is just stiff, isn't it? So let's work on that. You should still take off, and in fact I will, but first I need to take this off. You should take off the whole tire, such that you can run your hand inside of it. My God. Because otherwise you might find there to be okay, I got it. was being kept by the other side of the tire. If you don't look inside and inspect the tire, you might find that you get a puncture right away as soon as you put it back. So you want to run your hand inside to feel if it is smooth. And that's a bit difficult to do like this. You can't really get everything, so you have to take it off all the way, which does mean more struggling. Although another thing you have to look out for is centering it properly in the middle of the rim, where it has space for the edge to come close, sort of on a smaller diameter, so that it can expand on the other side over the edge. Let's see. Get in there and then kind of down, and now I grabbed it here, and this part is easy. The next part is gonna be hard. If you have them too far apart, it's gonna want to stretch it too much, and it's not gonna come off. If you don't have it too far though, you can have the same issue. But what I will do now is put more of this soapy water on there as lubrication, and that should hopefully help. I lost this one. Ideally, I do want to change the tire altogether at some point. Because this is it's a bit old at this point. Let's see. There shall be a bit of wrestling with it. Can I take this off without it going over? It seems so. Nope, it did go over. Don't fight with it too much though. Look for the easy way, so to speak. Or else you might damage it. Because it should come off fairly easy if it is in the right position. is me whilst wrestling with it. There it is. Not the smoothest of operations. Not too happy with it, but should still work. Now, yes, I already felt it, so this is what I seen here, and I can feel the tip of it inside. Don't know if you can see it here. Let me. Vice grip should be good for pulling this out. That is the culprit. The tip of a nail or something. Small, what would you call it? I guess still a nail. Anyway, I shall run my hand inside this, see if it catches on anything else. Ideally you should pick a reference point so you know if you've been around enough. But so far it seems smooth. So yeah, I was thinking the issue could have been the patch I've put on last time, because I wasn't too happy with it. I struggled with it like 3 times, putting it on and off, trying again. Yeah. Let's now identify the puncture on here. For the sake of the video, ideally I would just put in a new, actually for the sake of practicality, but the video also, I should put in just a new inner tube. I don't know if I have enough battery left to show you the whole process of patching this and testing if that works. That's where it is. So yeah, you should hear it if I remove my finger. So yeah, not too sure, because there is this edge here. It might affect patching it a little bit. Could come in at it with the blade, make it smooth, cut off that edge here a little bit, you know. Do I have I don't think I have anything to mark this with. Also, I don't have any solvents. Forgot to bring them. Well, I suppose I'll have to get a blade anyway. As I said, I do want to cut this edge off to help a bit with getting good adhesion. Back we are. Let's see if one of them is sharp enough. Kinda cut. I do want to be careful though. Don't want to make a bigger hole for me to patch. I have seen in the meantime they call them spy glasses for some reason, which I don't like very much. Make it seem like I'm up to no good, but it would make for a better setup in terms of filming this type of POV stuff without having you in the way. Anyway, yeah, it's not great, but good enough. Ideally, you would hit this with sandpaper. I will use a wire wheel instead. Same effect. But you don't want to get carried away with it. Leave it at that. Let's clean this a bit with alcohol. I think at this point I should take off the greasy gloves, ideally. I suppose I'll try to be careful. Let's see. Plenty of chances to get this right. Didn't bring scissors. I think it's the aluminum part that needs to come off. Yes. But first, need to put this on. Now I don't have the best view over here. Ideally, a little brush would come in handy. Can I just use a piece of wood? Let's see. Better to have a bit extra. I think. Let's act quickly. It is not very clear if you're supposed to put pressure on it or not. This kit comes with no instructions. Now what I'm looking for is something somewhat flat. Can just put it on just as a little bit of weight. What could I use? Let's see. This one underneath. I should deflate it more, ideally. Yes. Let's do that. That was coming off a little bit. I've seen just now. Hopefully. Yeah. I will get something I can actually clamp on here for a second. That should do. Not gonna put too much pressure on it, just a little bit. And now we move forward, getting a cotter pin ready. This is the wire I use, and then the little hammer. Might actually get the axle as well to make sure it fits through. Let me put a cap back on this. Yeah, you just hammer this flat. Doesn't take too long actually. And it does harden it when you hammer it like that. That is one side of it, I think, done. Two of them that size should go through, as opposed to two of them being left around, which do not go through. It's down there. Let me get a different one. See, this is pretty easy and soft stuff. Easy to cut and hammer in place. I'll hammer the center as well. I was thinking possibly not, but while I'm at it. me just make this straight enough. Now getting it straight this way, it's a bit more challenging, but can still be done. Then you bend it in half. I'm just eyeballing it here, but if you wanted to, you could measure things out. And I put in a small screwdriver, kind of help give it that rounded end. Oh. What you can also do is put it in the vise and hammer the end a little bit. See, it is like that, and now I just there's a cotter pin. Does it go through? Just about. And that's done. Do technically need to do another one. For here. We'll do that off screen probably. I think now I might just take a break, let this set for a while. Actually, in the meantime, I can start putting that back on the rim, one side of it anyway. Let's see. As you can see, this is already dry, which is good. I don't know if the first side will need as much. The benefit of using soapy water is that it dries up quickly. I should look at the direction of spin it wants, ideally. Let me see. There is an arrow here showing this way. Do we have other indications? I think that's the one. So it needs to spin this way, which means, yeah, that's the right way compared to the motorcycle as it sits there. And this is the part that has the sprocket, so it should be like this. More wrestling with this will be necessary. I am keeping this side a little up so that it sits in the middle of the rim, where it has space to go this way more. Yes, it is going somewhat easy so far. Let's lube up this side a bit. I think now comes the hard part. So far so good. Let's see if I can pop this in. That wasn't too bad. Now for a brief intermission. I don't know what to do, but there shall be some waiting around. Actually, I will just put in one of them. If that one gets fixed and holds pressure, it shall be kept for next time. Oopsie. I got two of them even. This way I'm sure it works right away, and then I have time to be confident in that repair as well. So when this gets a puncture, I will take it off, put that one on, and continue. That's interesting. This has a way to remove the valve stem. Good to know, good to know. I'm not sure about putting these nuts on, because as I said, well, I lost one. No, it's still here. They are a bit narrow, and on the bottom one you cannot put a wrench on it to hold it. Let's see. I might need to inflate this a little bit ahead of time. We'll see. Where's the hole? The hole is here. Can I get the hole? That's bad. I lost the washer. I do have it in my hand, but it does need to go back on. It is just the worst type of job, because there is no way around it. I suppose I'm never gonna get it like this, will I? think I need to somehow I did manage to do it sometimes. 3 times. Well, 2 times I guess. This is the 3rd time. And they do say 3rd time's the charm, but you know what, I think this tire particularly is technically meant to be for a tubeless. I did read something on it. Yeah, tubeless, which means it probably has a bit more material here. Where is it? My oh my. How am I to do this? Can I grab this part here, get it a little bit out of the way, somewhat, whilst I work that in. It is pinching my hands on the other side. Fuck. I don't know if you can see what I see exactly, but I am getting close at least. No, washer is moving away. As I said, I am pinching my fingers with the tire a little bit. Oh, come on, get in there. I think I'm close enough. Holy shit. I do have it somewhat on the other side. Now, I will temporarily at least put one of them on, just so I don't lose it. Because if the valve stem goes back in, I'll be quite frustrating. I will put some air in it before I start to put the tire on, just such that the inner tube finds its way into the tire, so to speak, without being stuck out here. Otherwise you might pinch it. And make yourself a new puncture to fix. Get in there. Seems like it's a little smaller than it needs to be. I'm pretty sure I did get the right size. Okay, now it is properly stuffed in there. Let's put some air in it. This does suck a little bit because there's not a lot of space in here for it. I think it might be easier from the other side. See, can I feel what it has done? I think it could still use more. You ideally want to have it looking something like that, you know, a bit inflated. Might be too much now. Let me deflate it a little bit. Now let's see about this other side. It wants to go on easily. Ideally, I think I want to start here at the stem, such that there isn't too much stress applied. Since I have made just enough of this soapy water, I need more hands. Now this one is slippery even, which is not ideal. Dry it up a bit. These two. So far so good. Let's hold this a little and get in here. Now we are reaching the hard part. More lube. Never hurts. get this stuck under here properly so that I don't have to hold it myself. That didn't sound too good. I might have pinched a little bit the inner tube, but that is why you use proper levers. They are smooth. Don't use screwdrivers and stuff. Here we have it. Not too much drama. Now, let's pump this up and see if it holds air. I don't trust that too much, which is why I have this thing here for checking pressure. Now there is some air here. However, because this is a inner tube, the air you do see coming out now, it's air that's stuck between the tire and the inner tube. Hopefully, anyway. We shall find out. But yeah, you cannot really test something with an inner tube by spraying around the tire like this. How much pressure does this want? It never has the proper readings that I need. Max load, no. That's the weight to put on it. 33 psi, and this one does have psi as well. This one I don't know if it does. No. It has kilograms per centimeter square and something else. But doesn't matter too much. So long as it is consistent. Let's see. What I do is I kinda leave this like this. Remember the pressure. In fact, I had it written on here. 2.5 last time. Could inflate it a bit more. And then I kinda check it back after some time. See if it is the same as it was. Let me put a bit more in there. Now that is too much according to this, if that is accurate, because it is at 40 psi and the maximum, or I think, the ideal. I cannot tell exactly. It does say here 33 psi. It's what it wants. So yeah. With motorcycles, you can kind of get it by feel. Just put your foot on it, press a bit like that when it's on the bike, and it works good enough. On cars you want to be more careful, because on the same axle you want the same pressure. Let's see what it is at now. Four. I suppose that gauge does work. It does say the same as here. I will leave it at that for a while. I think I will take a break. Sit on the hammock. Well, I suppose lay on the hammock. Let's get rid of them. I shall come back to you in a while. Put this back together, and yeah. Welcome back. I've been sitting here for about 30 minutes, maybe a bit more, sipping a beer. Do you really want me getting back up, finishing the job? Yeah. Not a bad day to be without electricity. I think that's how I shall spend the rest of the day. Until the sun goes down anyway, and then it does get a bit too chill to be hanging out on the hammock. Let's see how this is holding up. So that's how much we had. About 440 psi. Let's see how much it's in here. Has gone down a little bit, but some air gets lost when pressing this if you don't have it quite right, and when you take it off particularly. So I'm gonna say it's probably good enough. In fact, too much pressure. I'll get it closer to something more reasonable. It needs to be 33, and this is still a bit much. If that's 20 and that's 40, that's 30, and a bit 35 probably. That should be good. We'll double check once it is on the bike. I was gonna mess with them a little bit, although I will start with the other one. I don't want to upset this too much if I don't have to. In fact, let me do that now. So I will take this off. I have identified these bolts here. It does seem like they might be the same. These ones are longer, although they do have less thread. I do have a top and die set, so I could put more threads on this if I had to. But yeah, I'll take this off and see if it is the same thread, and if that's the case I will mess with that one, which is a bit more broken. squeeze too much on that. Which one will it be? I don't know. I'll take them all. 12. Might be easier putting this in the vise. I can at least squeeze on it. I wonder if I'll be able to figure out how to speed this part up in the editing software. Forgot already what it's called. It's a free one. Could it be DaVinci Resolve? I don't know. Something like that. But the way you do things on that seems a little foreign to me. So the way they did this, they basically welded an extra bit of metal on there and threaded it. But it's not that much material. And on the other one, the threads have failed. Actually, I broke this. And so it might be the case that actually the threads are somewhat fine. Okay, so I can use this. But the bolt I used back then was a rusty one. As you can see, not even quite a bolt, it has a screw head, which is not ideal. It might be just a matter of replacing this with one of them. If this side of things is not too bad. Because what I did find the threads do seem to be a little chewed up. This one was slipping on the threads. This one might work actually. I will see when I apply tension to it. Would that be the right force? It's either tension or compression. I do need to take that off. Let's see if I can be lazy about it. This is a little too tight. I did have this on here. Put it in low gear. I might blame it on these threads being a bit worn out. Not sure at all. We will find out, I guess. Do I want to chase the threads on these nuts? Or will it only help with things not rattling off? So I need to change it again a bit. This is a hex. Do I have one of them nearby? Might do. Yes. Don't lose the beat. Let's do the other one as well while I'm at it. Keeps it from snapping like the other one did. Also, I need to have them both the same length in order to set the wheel straight, which I think might have been the reason why I used this, because they are the same length, at least to this shoulder here. Yes, that's why I use this one. They are just about the same length. This is going in more smoothly. If I had a proper notch, what I could have done is just put an extra nut in there. This one would have almost fit, actually. The ones I do have are a bit too thick and wouldn't fit in there without fiddling. Yeah. Further adjustment will be necessary after the fact. Let's see. I will need these nearby as well. I might use these for fine adjustment. Forgot to bring the axle. I should go get other gloves. Or can I reuse these ones? Before we were rudely interrupted by the battery dying, I was starting to put things back together. I did take a break, was gonna switch to the phone, but it turns out electricity came back in the meantime. So I had you charging for an hour. Hopefully that should be enough to end things. I also think it might have given this enough time to cure, so to speak. So we might test and see if this came out decent enough. I will leave it for some more time like that. Now this should be good. Actually, let me double check. Where is it? Where is it? This, unless I've pinched it, should be good. So we got it at, yeah, pressure is about right as it was, maybe even more. Perhaps the sun might have expanded things. So do I have everything here? I do have this stuff here, these two, this spacer here. Should have brought the caliper for checking this once it is installed. See, how is this meant to go now? Oh, I should have made another cotter key in the meantime. Pin, something, one of them. Will this go in? That's that. Now there shall be a bit of fiddling around. I need to get this in the hole. Not too bad. You just put your foot underneath. Let's get this spacer in there. See, it helps when you don't clean things up, because you know which side goes where. I do want one of them, but first I was gonna lube this up a little bit as well. Should I censor this part? Or should I charge more for it? Would be a good time to plug my Patreon, maybe. Now I have to be careful where I touch. Oh well. That side is in, for the most part. Let us get it all the way here, if I can. Yeah, that's why I have to be careful. I don't want to touch the tire with the greasy gloves. Now, this one doesn't matter as much. I don't think the other one matters either, which way it goes. But I do know the washer was on this side here. Let's also squeeze this in, if we can. First, let's push the axle a bit more. It's that, so it holds them, whilst I fight with this part of it. That's that. It's that. That's too bad. Oh. Come on. It is almost through. Now I'm gonna have to mess with the chain tension and wheel alignment. That seems to be plenty, maybe even too much. Let me lock that in place. This doesn't go. Let me hold this so it doesn't make it tighter. Ideally, I should have brought calipers out. So now I can match the length of them. Do I have any measuring devices out here? I do have something. I was wondering if I might have the calipers actually out here, but it seems not. This might be close enough. Let's see. From this edge to the end, 4.5. Should be easy. It is 5 something, so needs to go in a bunch. I might want to put the nut on a little bit. Kind of keep this from moving around too much, but let's check this first. A little more. That should be about it. Should we double check? Might be even a bit too much. Let's see. Can you see? Yeah, because this is a little over 4.5. It's about right. About right. Let's lock this. Let's hold this whilst locking. It's kind of the same as checking valves, although not quite as sensitive. But when you tighten the lock nut, the whole bolt might get tight. So yeah. Now for getting this tight, the screwdriver will be necessary to hold the other side, I think. Maybe not. maybe not. It doesn't need to be excessively tight, because it will have a cotter pin, which I have made, and it is here. Let's see. Let me put it in from the underside. Should be long enough. That would have been funny if it wasn't. And now let's just bend this over. I don't have the hammer nearby. Can I just... that does the job. Should be good. Should be good. Is that tight? Is that the one? Yes. Let's get this tight. And I think we are done. Except for maybe possibly making another one of them for this. But it does have a lock ring, a split washer. It's a rusty one, so I'm not sure how effective, but the bolt is also, the bolt and nut are also rusty, so I don't think it will come off. Double check the tension here. Yeah, it's a bit tight. A bit too tight, perhaps. Should have checked before putting the cotter pin in. Oh well. Off it comes again. Learn from my mistakes. Come on out. From one point of view, I'm happy about it. But I think I still have some adjustment left. Just loosening it a little bit. It is easier getting it tight than it is to loosen it back up. Do a bit more. I would have preferred if I could get this on there like that. Doesn't go over the head of the bolt. Now let us measure again. Need a better angle. It looks the same. No, it is a bit longer. About a millimeter, maybe 2 even. So yeah, check this before finishing things. A bit more. It's about right. Almost 2. And double checking here. Yeah, that should do. I have to push this forward as well a little bit. Yeah, that's more like it. This time I'm gonna use this hole here. Like it never happened. They spin a bit more freely now. So yeah, I think we're good to go. Technically I do have those cases to put back on, but I don't have anything to carry right now, so I shall leave it be. The other tube, should I test it now? Might as well. See what happens here. It does appear like it might hold, although I'm not sure about the sides here. The other one looked worst. Yeah, it looks better now. But when I first did it, it did look worst. Yeah. Possibly a successful repair. I shall see. I'll have it sit like this for a while. I will let you know in the description or in the comments if it held up or not. Not sure if I will film a follow-up. Oh yeah, that's that. Ideally you'd have it sit somewhere where you can kind of mark the top of it and see if it goes down. I will see about doing that. Should we go for another ride? See if my hat flies off again with you on it. I think I will skip that. I do need the keys. So I can park this. Let's just get it off the center stand to begin with. Put it on the side stand, and this is how I usually check my pressure, and I can tell it is a bit too high. In fact, I know it is a bit too high because this told me as well. Still a little high. That should do. Let's see what it is. A little, about 30 psi. Yeah, that will do good. I'll get the key, park this up, and call it a day. Now hopefully tomorrow I shall not find it on a flat tire again. Someday someone will likely do a barn find video on this one. Whee! Come on. And that someone might even be me. If I want to get do some trolling, so to speak. Yeah, that'll be it. Thanks for watching, and see you around. Bye bye.